Hey, what's going on, guys? Pixel Gadget here. So today I'm playing the game that I've been requested to play the most, probably Ultra Kill. So this game, I actually am trying something new this time. I played the game, the first level, and I just didn't record my audio, and I'm gonna record my ideas about the game actually now post. So I'm like reacting to my own gameplay here. I loved this, how it introduced the sound effects and the music. Like, this was crazy. I rarely see this in games where it like makes you do the settings before you even get to the main menu. That was an interesting design decision. I will say I didn't like how it didn't have the music or sound effects like before this, because I thought the game was glitched. So that was kind of like, it could do better. But it was so cool. Look, it had like different options. And then the piano music like totally took me off guard. I was like, what? Oh, this part like tripped me up. I clicked it thinking I didn't even get to see what that screen was. But anyway, so that was super cool. So this intro scene is crazy, right? There's actually no main menu, which is fascinating to me. There's actually no main menu. It just sends you right into the game. And then it's like the tagline, mankind is dead, blood is fuel, hell is full. So cool. So I dropped down a shaft, classic. The ground, like I hit the ground, little rock particles, so awesome. First thing I noticed is like the UI element like jiggles. Then I started like experimenting with the punching. I was like, okay, this is super cool. I noticed that gas, like movement in the scene, really like that. Gas, sparks, flashing lights. This is all classic video game stuff. Look how it signifies to the player, hey, go down this hallway with the flashing lights. That's like classic. I think the first game I noticed that in was BioShock, using like flashing like electrical sparks. Nice little screen shake when you punch the wall there. Punch feels really satisfying. I like how the press F to punch didn't just like appear for 5 seconds and disappear. It stays until I actually do the punching. Love how small the reticle is. I don't know why, but I'm a huge fan of small little reticles, like precise reticles. Like I like precision shooters where the bullets go exactly to the center of the screen. Maybe that's my CSGO upbringing. Loved punching those little things, particle effects, sound effect. Beautiful feedback right off the rip. Tutorial. This is like, I like this tutorial level way more than Dread Templar. But at the same time, it's still a tutorial level, but I'm really actually grateful for this tutorial level. Here's where I'm like making sure I didn't like, oh, I like turned down the look sensitivity. I'm making sure I didn't like turn off the blood and gore, because I wasn't sure what happened with the whole like, I don't know, accessibility options at the very beginning. So yeah, this game right off the rip, the UI is so clean. I love it. Just black and white, very simple color palette. The amount of options were crazy to me. There were so many options. I was blown away. There's even like options for making the game easier, interesting performance options, the gore you can turn off, blood stains. So interesting. Like the amount of options just shows the quality of this game. And the thing about this game is it is like, this game made like I think $100 million or something in that range. This is like the creme de la creme of boomer shooters. So I was like, I gotta play this. And as I'm playing it, we'll get there. I like realize right away why it's so good, and I got to admit, I was like, oh, maybe this game's not for me. Like, I kind of like more stripped down. This game has a lot of mechanics. Like, I watched a little bit of gameplay and I thought, like, oh, it's too fast paced for me. Well, in a minute, we're gonna see that actually it's so well designed that it kind of eased me into the mechanics. Like here I tried the dash and I like messed it up, but thankfully it lets you retry. Beautiful. And then this little tutorial was really interesting. This kind of goes into the Nintendo style of teaching mechanics. When you first teach a mechanic, you teach it in like a safe environment. So like those enemies can't hurt me, right? And then it introduces the mechanics in just a kind of dangerous environment. And then number three, there's like three steps to this design philosophy. Then number three, they introduce the mechanic, but with a twist. And this game definitely does that multiple times just in this first 15 or 13-minute level. I love the jibbing. Look at the detail. Every limb jibs. Every single that's amazing level of detail right there. That's awesome. The wall jumping, this movement controller is crazy. The level of detail, like the ground slam, this was so cool. I actually fell in love with the ground slam in this first 13 minutes. I'm not going to lie. Look at that. It's so satisfying. I love the thump, screen shake. Feels really good. Magical orb definitely looks nice. I actually don't like those particles, the like ones with the solid color and they're like streaking. I actually don't like the look of that. I wish they had more texture, but is what it is. Loving the environments, very drab colors. You know why they're this color, right? It's so the red can pop more. Okay, they're brown and gray and dark, brown because yeah, they want the red to pop in this color. And this intro is so cool, just this narrow passage. I was saying when I played the game, like I don't think I've ever seen a game with these narrow passages. I knew the game would spawn in enemies right when I picked up the gun. Music kicks in. Just start clicking on these dudes. Instantly feels insane. Instantly just like, and then I just start ground pounding them and I'm like, oh my God, the blood everywhere. Loving this. I quickly realized there's infinite ammo in this game, which is very interesting to me. I didn't expect that. And just how the room has changed, like and then when I walk into the checkpoints, I love that level of feedback where it's like there's actual physical checkpoints. That was so cool. Here's me figuring out the like charge up. This game is crazy, and the music was so good. I don't know why, but for the other games, I didn't like consciously really enjoy the music. I guess the music was like passable. This music I was actually kind of bopping to a little bit. I was like, this is sick. I was just testing the shooting here. No screen shake when you shoot, which is interesting. First thing I tried was ground pounding this glass, which I feel like should have broke it. But the game was trying to teach me the piercing shot. Super cool. This gun looks insane. Apparently the battery in the back of the gun is the charge shot. Loved this hallway room, which the game is kind of like wanting you to use the charge shot, I guess. And then those like meat grinder things down there, super cool. Every single part of this game seems to have movement like in the levels, which I think is super interesting. Oh, I think what the game wanted me to do in that scene was do a special shot under the glass to make the enemies fall down. And in this scene also, oh, I missed that. I literally missed that. Interesting. Yeah, there's like the blades down there, so they're gonna get all chopped up. Look at how every single room has movement. Oh, and I loved this room. I loved it. This is where it spawned in these new guys, and I want to talk about how I love these guys, these fireball shooters. Look at how they like raise their hand up like they're about to shoot. The projectile is big, bright, and readable, and it contrasts the environment. It's kind of slow moving, so I can like feel like I can dodge it. Really like these ranged enemies. They feel fair. I can see how they're charging up their range shot when they raise, like very clear silhouette. They raise their hand up to the sky. Super cool. I love how when I ground pound these guys, they fly in the air if they don't die. It's very interesting. And just, yeah, painting the level with blood is so cool. I honestly feel like the red is like honestly a kind of muted red. I almost want the game to have this like bright red blood. But who knows? Maybe they tried that. Love the kind of god rays coming down. Love this room. It reminds me so much of Doom 2016. And I was just kind of seeing like the design philosophy of these levels is definitely more oriented towards the like arcadey action and not so much exploration. Like very clearly. That was so cool how the blood, like the liquid effect, that was crazy to me. I was the I was deflecting those fireballs like way easier than I thought. It must be a very forgiving hitbox. And yeah, just loving the movement in these scenes, the gas and stuff. Slowly figuring, and oh, this part of the game was where I got a little glitched out, but or my audio recording. I was recording my voice to text to like keep notes, but now I'm just winging it. Yeah, the movement in this scene is super cool. I didn't really understand the whole like chaotic, the left hand of the screen, but I'm guessing it's some kind of point system. This game is way more arcadey than the other games we played on the channel. So but I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed it so much actually. I surprised myself how much I really liked playing it. I didn't expect to. I know it sounds crazy because it's like this amazing game, but I just kind of was like, oh, I like the more traditional shooters. But no, this one basically is Doom 2016 with a retro finish in my mind. And honestly, the shooting feels like really good. I love the shooting sound is honestly like more clanky than a gun sound, which is interesting to me. And I think, yeah, when you get a headshot, there's kind of like a frame pause, which is very cool. Definitely lends it to that arcadey style. Definitely the most arcadey game we've played on the channel, but still boomer shooter retro, and just loving it, loving this game. I like how the enemies just like instantiate in, like they teleport in. I really like that. I think it makes it like clean, you know? It's like clean how the level starts. Like you walk in the level, there's no enemies and they just kind of spawn in and that's your deal. I don't know if you just noticed that, but I got to tell you. So I like went up to that edge right there and my character kind of like vaulted up onto the edge. That's like a super subtle vault and most people probably don't notice it. But yeah, and then a boss right at the start of the game, literally first 10 minutes of the game. That's crazy. The malicious face. This was a super fun boss fight, just shooting at this guy. I loved it. I liked the health bar, you know, really satisfying detail. The health bar has screen shake. And then I just intuitively knew to smash him. I loved the ground pounding in this game. It felt so natural to use it. Yeah, okay. So this was a great game designer plays episode. Loving this game, definitely understanding why people play it. And yeah, thanks to the guy who actually bought it for me. I had it on my wish list. I had a bunch of boomer shooters on my wish list because I was getting ready to start playing them for the channel, and one of the dudes on my friends list just bought it. I've noticed that the people who play this game are like fanatical, and I'm starting to see why. It's just a mechanical masterpiece. Well, that's the end of the recording there for the first level. Basically, I it's addicting. This game's addicting. I can definitely understand now why people were telling me to play it so much. It's so good in a different way from Dusk and Dread Templar, where it's like the basic gameplay just feels so good that the other elements that we've discussed, like narrative, basically is like it has even less narrative than Dusk, where basically like Dusk had like environmental storytelling and kind of this context. In this game, it's even more bare bones. You're just this random robot killing zombies. Like, super cool. Super duper cool. I loved it, and I'm really excited to play again. I can definitely see why this game, like, I think the biggest thing I'm going to learn about this game, if I'm just like thinking about it, is that character controller has so many mechanics and they actually feel really intuitive. And that's crazy to me. That's absolutely wild. So super fun game. Definitely excited to keep playing it for Game Designer Plays. So glad we could do this together. Thanks for hanging out, bro. Yeah, I hope you got something out of this. I hope you learned something about game design. I was just kind of going through it super quick and dirty, but yeah, this game definitely deserves a lot of attention. Gonna play through it a bunch. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Toodaloo.